Alright, what's going on, guys? As you can see from this setup here, we have another movie discussion to talk about. I just want to say thank you guys who supported the Resident Evil movie sort of review slash rant. That video was longer than intended to be. Honestly, I was only expecting that video to be 15 minutes. Went on to be 30 plus, so there's that. I'm gonna be doing something a little bit different here. I don't want to spoil this movie like I spoiled the Resident Evil movie because of how good this movie is. Spoiler alert. I feel like you guys should go watch it. I just kind of want to give my overall thoughts on it. There may be one or two spoilers, so this is a spoiler alert of sorts, but overall I do want to talk about this movie and my thoughts on it, the good and the bad, right? Let's start off with some of the good. Robert Pattinson. I enjoyed his take on the Batman character, the Batman and the Bruce Wayne character in this movie. Just keep in mind that this is a younger Bruce Wayne slash Batman. This is year 2, which a lot of you guys who have read the comics or watched some of the animated series and stuff like that, we kind of know about year 1 Batman and how kind of new at this he was, right? Because this is his first year being Batman. He made mistakes, he fumbled, he dropped the ball, you know, he got his ass kicked and stuff like that. And it's like a combination of learning those things from year 1 that carry on to year 2. We still see those type of traits happening, but it's a little bit more refined, but not as refined as something we see in like the Justice League or like the original Batman trilogy and stuff like that. It's still a little bit more amateurish, but not like, I guess like it's going from like novice to intermediate would be the best way to put it, right? He's experienced, he's seen some stuff and some things have happened. People know about Batman, but they fear him, which is his original intent, right? That's his original goal as being Batman, is to have people fear him of sorts, right? To spread fear throughout the city to prevent crime. Problem is that because of how Gotham is and how, you know, Gotham is afraid of, you know, crime, corruption, people in masks, essentially, they're also afraid of Batman, right? They don't know who Batman is. They don't know which side of the law he's on. Yeah, he's a vigilante for now, but that can all change in the spring of a day, right? And that's kind of always been the intent of like the early years of Batman, is like, is he a friend of the foe? Will he turn? Will he become the next big villain? So on and so forth. But enough of that. Robert Pattinson did a good job, and I was one of the people that was in the camp of, oh god, no, not Edward, oh my god. And it's not fair to him. It's not fair to him as a character. I mean, he was just playing a role in those movies, and I've heard in other things that he's done since then, he's actually been really good. I just haven't watched those movies just because he's always had that stigma of being Edward from Twilight, unfortunately, and that's on me, and I do apologize for that. So don't go into this movie think he's going to be like Edward or he's going to be like just a pain in the ass. He's actually really good in this, and I think he's probably top 3 in my favorite Batmans and Bruce Waynes. Not gonna lie to you, I think he did a really good job, especially for the setting of the movie. And speaking of setting of the movie, that is another thing that I really enjoyed about this movie, is that it's grounded and gritty but not annoying. You know what I mean? Like, Batman in Gotham has always had like a gritty take, right? It's always been like a dark, grimy place, right? It's like some of the worst parts of like New York and stuff, right? That's kind of how Gotham has been portrayed. And in some of the other movies and even some of the animated stuff, it's always been so bright and colorful and sort of, I don't want to say beautiful because that's probably not the right word, but like saturated, I guess, would be the correct term, right? There's always been a lot of color and a lot of like brightness in those movies for a city that's supposed to be, you know, struggling with crime and corruption. And I think this movie covered that very well. It was super dark, it was super gritty. You can kind of feel the grime in the movie within Gotham. You know what I mean? You can feel the grime in the dirt. You can feel the corruption on the streets. You can see the homeless. You can see people suffering because of how crime has run rampant within Gotham. You can kind of tell that from the movie. And I think the movie does a really good job of portraying that. And that's a credit to the movie. I think it's probably one of the best interpretations of Gotham that we've seen in quite some time. I really think so. And I think it's just because we have a solo Batman film after so long, right? So we kind of get another chance to revisit that grittiness of it, and I think it did a really good job. I think overall it was a really good job. Negative that I have for the movie is some of the mixing with the audio. There are certain times within the movie to where either the music just overpowers the actors, or for whatever reason the dialogue is just super low even when there's no music playing. I don't know if there's a weird mixing thing or if it's something in the theater, but it was kind of hard to hear certain characters talk at times. It was you have to really struggle to hear them, and I don't know if that was intentional or what, but it was definitely something that I noticed in like maybe 4 or 5 parts in the movie. super annoying, but you can definitely get past it. It's not like the dialogue was super important, but it is still kind of annoying when you're really invested in the movie and you really want to hear what the characters are saying. Speaking of which, everyone played their part really well. Alfred, Selena, Falcone, Gordon, obviously Bruce / Batman. I think they all did an admirable job in their roles. There was not a single character that I didn't like, right? I think everyone played their part really, really well in this movie. So it was good. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I would say another negative that I guess I would have is that I understand why the movie was so long. I feel like it could have cut maybe 15-20 minutes out of it and it still would have been okay. I mean, granted, the movie is good overall and is definitely worth watching, but I feel like, and I believe the runtime is like just shy of 3 hours, if not 3 hours exactly. But I think it definitely could have cut off maybe like 15-20 minutes and it still would have been a really good film. But honestly, that's all I really have to say about the negatives. Everything else has been really good. The fight scenes was really good. The transitions between him fighting different villains and sometimes like a light dark scenario was really good. Interactions between Batman and characters are really good, is what you expect from a Batman movie, right? So I think they really did a good job of showing Batman in a more gritty setting, in a more infant but gritty setting, right? Because again, this is like year 2 Batman, so this is not like hardened veteran Batman that we've seen in past movies and stuff like that, where he's been at this for a while, he knows the ropes and stuff like that. So I think this movie does it the best, right? So overall, I want to say this movie is probably, if I had to give it a score, 8.5, 9 out of 10. Definitely going to be one of my top 5 Batman movies of all time. I think it's really good. Definitely would not be against seeing it again because I really did enjoy it. So one quick thing, this is kind of thrown in here last minute because I was editing and I forgot, I did not mention this. This movie has some of the best Batman investigating scenes I've seen in a movie in quite some time, at least a Batman movie, right? I think this Batman movie did a really good job of showing just how good of a detective Batman can be, right? It brought that aspect to the films, because that's something we really don't get to see in like the Justice League or like the Christian Bale movies and stuff like that, right? We get some of that in the animated series, right? Obviously, because it's an animated series, there's a lot more episodes and time to go about it, and even some of the movies that we get from the animated series, we see like Batman as a detective, but we really don't get to see that on the big screen when it comes to movies, and I thought that this movie did it really well. So I wanted to throw that in there just as another positive to the movie's greatness. So again, go watch it, please. Back to the rest of this video. Probably see it from the comfort of my own home, just so I can kind of like really hear the audio, just to see if it was a theater thing or if it's just something with no mixing. But overall, it was good. Overall, I think you guys should go watch this movie. I think it was enjoyable. It's a lot better than I would give it credit for. Honestly, I was going into this movie thinking it was gonna bomb, right? I was not excited to see this movie. It was more out of morbid curiosity because, again, and this is on me, and I admit that 100%, is because of Robert Pattinson, right? I mean, unfortunately, he has the stigma of being Edward, but, I'm an adult. I can admit my mistakes, and that's a mistake on me. I should have gave him the benefit of the doubt and, see what he can do, and he did a damn good job. So, again, this is just more of a quick-fire video, just something I wanted to kind of talk about. I didn't want to make it too long, but I think you guys should go see it. I think you guys should really go see The Batman. I think it's really good. I think it's worth your time and your money. It's a good film. It's a good film. It's long, so be prepared to sit for about 2 hours and 45 minutes, 3 hours. It's a long one, but I think it's worth it. I think it's worth going to go check out, and I think you guys will enjoy it, especially if you're Batman fans and you read a lot of like comics and stuff like that. It's worth it. It's enjoyable. I think it's really good. So again, just a quick fire review, quick discussion of the movie. Like I said, I didn't want to give too much spoilers or anything like that because I want you guys to go see the movie. And unlike, Resident Evil, where no one should go see that movie because it's bad, and I don't mind spoiling Resident Evil just to save you guys $15-20. Here, I think it's worth the admission price to go pay to see it in movies, or wait for it to come out in streaming or DVD. So, or Blu-ray. I think, is DVD even still a thing? Is everything just Blu-ray now? Anyway, beyond topic. Go see The Batman. It's good. I highly recommend it. I'll catch you guys later. Take care.